I want to talk about the New England Patriots, Brandon. They made a big move this last week, changing a pretty important position in the offensive structure, and that is hiring one Bill O'Brien to become the offensive coordinator. O'Brien, one that spent his last year, or Mac Jones' last year in Alabama, learned the offense from Mac himself. As a New England fan, where do you stand on this news for the Patriots? What do you grade it? And more so, what does this mean for Mac Jones going into an absolutely critical third season where it feels like a make or break it year with a third different play caller?
Yeah, they're a different play caller. Um, First off, how I grade the move, I mean, I'll just give it a thumbs up, double thumbs up. Uh, I think job one is complete, which is hire a competent offensive coordinator. They did that. I was listening to Rob Gronkowski talk about Bill O'Brien and how he felt about the move, and he's a big Bill O'Brien supporter. He really gave a lot of praise to Bill O'Brien. So I'm really happy with this move. Now, job one is complete. Job two is go get the necessary weapons to support Mac Jones. That's the second job. Whether that be going to trade for DeAndre Hopkins or another receiver, whether that be to draft a receiver at the 14th overall pick, whatever that may be.
Just
You
don't
need
let
to.
just don't let O'Brien negotiate. That's the only thing.
Well, no, he's not going to go. Come on, John. Don't be silly. A bill will be negotiating, but it won't be Bill O'Brien. It'll be Bill Belichick. So yeah, just make the right necessary moves. I mean, the moves are out there to be made. I mean, they're staring you right in the face. If I can see it, Bill Belichick, somebody with probably the highest football IQ in all of football, should be able to see this. Like, it's right in front of them. And I made a terrible mistake last year. I think I don't know what that is. You would have to have become be one of Bill Belichick's like close personal friends to be able to know what he was thinking. So we'll never know why those decisions were made because Bill will never tell us. So yeah, I'm happy. We're moving in the right direction, John. That's what we're doing. We're moving in the right direction. I think anybody with eyes can see that we're moving in the right direction, that this was the right move to make. Get Bill O'Brien, get a competent offensive coordinator. And like I said, you don't have to fire Matt Patricia. You don't have to fire Joe Judge. You just got to get him the hell out of the offensive side of football. It's like that old saying, you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of my house. uh, so so move Joe Judge back to special teams where he freaking shined at, and put Matt Patricia in an assistant coach position, whatever, just so he can be Bill's talking buddy, drinking buddy, golf buddy, fishing buddy, whatever the hell he is. Because
Pencil
that's
buddy.
yeah, pencil buddy. Well, no, I think Bill uses a pen actually.
Oh,
Or no,
pencil.
actually no. No, I think Bill is also old timey. I think he has a notepad, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, there you go.
How do you even, if you have a pencil, John, your lists are laminated. How do you write on that?
I'm not sure. It's kind of crazy to me in hindsight. I kind of feel like I remember Bill O'Brien better as that Penn State coach. I'm not a Penn State fan. He spent 2 years there. To think about it, O'Brien was the Texans head coach for 7 seasons.
Yeah.
It did not feel like that long, but from 2014 to 2020, he was there. He is actually from New England, a former assistant for 5 years from 2007 to 2011 as the quarterback's offensive coordinator and offensive assistant. I thought this was a phenomenal move. It made sense given his experience in New England and also working with Brady. I think he is the best thing you could have gotten after losing McDaniels. It should have happened a year earlier. There's no doubt in my mind about that because that was a lost season for Mac Jones. I mean, New England has failed over and over again to really invest into the offensive side of the ball. And when you have a defensive front that damn good with some really good corners, it can work. You can have a pretty solid season. But if you want to, in this stage of the NFL, really get back to the heights you're once at, they have to, in the draft, invest a first or second round pick into a receiver. And I'm talking more than a Tyquan Thornton. You know, he can take the top order of the defense, but they need a true wide receiver, number one,
Yeah,
for Mac.
he has been completely forgotten in this offense last year. Like you wouldn't even have known we drafted a receiver as high as we did because he was just lost. I know he was injured for a while at the start of the season, but even after that, he made some plays here, but it was just so inconsistent about who played and who didn't play. Uh, Moves I think we need to make. Nelson Aguilar, I believe, is a free agent. If he's not, he's got to go. Devontae Parker, you want to keep him? I don't know what his cap hit is. I don't think it's that bad, but if it's like anything too high, he's got to go. Keep Kendrick Bourne. He is openly stated he wants to stay on New England. He doesn't want to go anywhere.
He's gonna get big money though. He's the top wide receiver
He's
on
a
the
free
board.
agent though. Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne's
Unrestricted. Yep.
no. He's not a free agent. Sorry, he's got 1 year left on his deal.
You sure?
Yeah, he signed a 3 year deal. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive. Jacoby Myers is the free agent. But
Oh, that's what I thought I said. My fault.
oh, sorry. No, I was
They were
talking
talking about Jacoby.
No, I say Kendrick Bourne, but yeah,
My bad.
Jacoby Myers also. Jacoby Myers, we got to re-sign him. Uh, he can probably he might get franchise tag. But we do have a top 5 cap space in the in free agency or offseason this year. I'm trying to remember other receivers on the team. Well, Tyquan Thornton, he's obviously staying. Jonnu Smith, he's got, I think, the second highest cap hit on the team. Listen, either he needs to restructure that contract or he's got to go. He's got to go because he's been unproductive the last 2 years. He's been injured. And even when he's been on the field, he's dropped passes and he made inconsistent plays. He's been a complete and utter letdown. So either he needs to restructure his deal or he's got to go because it has not worked out. Running back wise, Ramondre, we're good. Damian Harris is a free agent. We might be able to get him back on a low budget deal if we want to, because he didn't have a great season this year.
Mm-hmm.
But even if we let him go, New England's very good at replacing running backs and getting new ones and whatnot. We'll probably draft another Alabama running back in like the 3rd round or something.
Yeah. Smith has a $19 million dead cap, so they can't even cut him.
No, not cut him. Yeah, definitely not cut him, but like trade partner.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know who would want him.
But,
But...
well, you got to find a idiot, a sucker's born every day, as they say. Maybe Josh McDaniels likes him in Vegas. You know,
great culture piece.
Yeah, great culture piece. But yeah, I think getting DeAndre Hopkins is a great move. I know it's kind of a pipe dream to some people, but I think it's realistic. I think we're one of the top teams going to get him. I'm not giving up that 14th overall pick for him though. No. That's I'll give you 2 seconds, or I'll give you next year's first and this year's third, but you're not getting the 14th overall pick from us. That is that for me is untouchable, that pick. We, as New England, we don't get those high picks. We haven't seen many of them. So we have to covet them when we have them. They got to be like, huh?
So where does that coveted pick go, Brandon?
Who do we draft?
What position? What's the area of need that you'd attack? Or maybe is it just you let the board speak to you?
It depends. Because it depends on where we're at, how free agency looks. Do we get DeAndre Hopkins? Because if we get D-Hop, there's no need to draft a receiver that high because we'd have D-Hop, we'd re-sign Jacoby Myers, we'd have Kendrick Bourne, Tyquan Thornton. We'd have enough at receiving core. Probably maybe an offensive tackle because I think Wynn is probably out the door. Trent Brown might get cut. So maybe a tackle or a defensive piece if Bill wants to go defense.
That'd be crazy to let the defense what they already have.
It's probably most likely going to go either, if we get D-Hop, it's probably going to go either offensive tackle or a defensive piece.